In essence, there's a very interesting story that I want to tell you about a woman who left Kenya. She's actually Kenyan born, and she made her way to the United Kingdom. And when she went to the United Kingdom, she decided to sort of get into politics there. She's now a councillor there, and she says it really doesn't matter who is your leader. What's important is, can they perform? What kind of life do you have with them in leadership? Let's take a look at that very interesting story.
And I'm meeting Kenyans who may live abroad but keep abreast with what's going on back home. And I'm in the residence of one Councillor Elizabeth Kang'ethe. No, not a councillor back home in Kenya, but a councillor in one of London's boroughs of Barking and Dagenham. She has served Paslow's ward since 2010. Thank you very much for having me in your residence. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born in Kenya. I'm a Kenyan. I've worked in Kenya. I've been a teacher. I've been a head teacher. I've worked with the Electoral Commission of Kenya. I was a returning officer in Githunguri 2002, and I've followed closely. I do follow the progress in Kenya, and I'm quite pleased, especially with the economy. Kenya is growing, but just a change, any violence could just bring down what these leaders, the current leaders, have built within the 5 years.
Tell me, how is it being elected to such a prestigious post, being one, African, two, a woman?
It wasn't easy. My ward is a predominantly white area, and by the time I went to the polls, the area where I represent was actually represented by the far-right group, which is in UK is well known as the BNP. These are the anti-black people, the anti-immigrants, the anti-women, and it wasn't easy fighting them, because on every door you knocked, they'll tell you off. And it has not been easy for them to accept, even the white people. It has not been easy for them to accept that a black person, and more so a woman, can represent them. But it wasn't easy. So we had a lot of work knocking on doors, because in Britain, the way we campaign, we're not given an arena where we can go and address people in a playground, in a stadium. But you got to go on the doors, knock, explain to the people why you want them to vote for me. It wasn't easy. It took hard work, but like I said, by the grace of God, I won.
So tell me, what is the population of Barking and Dagenham like?
Well, it's about 9,000, 12,000. The population in Britain, the people are not as many as we have in Kenya. It's 9,000 to 10,000.
What's the difference between politics in the United Kingdom and Kenya?
Well, can I say here, one thing I know is that there's a lot of accountability. So in everything that you do, you got to be very, very transparent. There's a lot of consultation on the ground. Any law, anything that we have to pass. For example, if you are given a certain grant, you do not just go and give out the grant to a school of your choice. We got to consult the people. We send consultation sheets, then we have to go back. We've got to call these people in a meeting. They give their views, and before we come to a verdict, before we deliver any message, any decisions are made, it has to be the people's voice. It's very, very different. So I do not have that power. I do not have that mandate. It's only that I am their representative, but the people on the ground are given the vote. They are given the voice. So it's very, very different from, but I believe in the new constitution in Kenya. I believe, with the evolution of power, I think that is what is going to happen now in Kenya. If you look at the moment, eyes are open. The international body, everybody is looking at Kenya, because they know Kenya is a beacon of hope in Africa. They know that Kenya, there's a lot of hope, there's lots of business, that they can carry out. But at the moment, I think people are holding their pockets. People are waiting to see. And it means a lot to us. We love our nation. Look at the economy. Kenya should not be where it is now. But the way things are moving now, and I believe, really, we are not going to see the same violence. And I believe within the next 5 years, it's not going to be the same Kenya. It means a lot to us. I know, and I'm believing God, that this time is going to be peaceful. They've preached a lot of peace, but let it be in action. Because the people are waiting, the people are there. The violence starts with the leaders. They are the ones who trigger this once they do not accept the defeat.
Are you ever going to come back home and say run for an elective post?
Well, I've said, and this has been a training ground for me. In the next elections, I should go back and help my people in Githunguri. I'm doing that in my own special way, but I believe now it's the high time I should go back, and I believe I will be going back very soon. Give back to my people what I've learned here, in the name of leadership, and I believe I've got something to give back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Well, that's it for now from us in the United Kingdom. We'll keep watching and keep monitoring the elections from here and keep you informed of the reactions of Kenyans living in the United Kingdom. My name is Atieno. Keep watching.